President Trump's personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani, is responding to the documents released from his now indicted associate, Lev Parnas. CBS News senior investigative correspondent Catherine Herridge spoke with Giuliani and joins me now from Washington. Hi, Catherine. Boy, this is some fascinating stuff we're all reading through right now. What did Giuliani have to say to you about the significance of the handwritten notes from Parnas and whether there was surveillance of former Ambassador Marie Yovanovitch?
Well, Tanya, let's take it one at a time. On this issue of alleged tracking of then U.S. Ambassador to the Ukraine, Marie Yovanovitch, Rudy Giuliani said he had, quote, no idea about these allegations. And then he also pointed to the fact that when you look at the handwritten notes, this is sort of bucket 2 of the information. He said there's no date on those documents. I don't know, he told CBS News, whether they were written recently or whether they were written some time ago. But he also alleged that he felt Parnas was getting bad legal advice and that the presentation of these records is all part of an effort by Parnas and his legal team to curry favor with these House committees because he's trying to stay out of jail. That's what Giuliani said. And the bottom line is that he felt he was a very unreliable witness in this case, Tanya.
And Catherine, when it comes to the possibility of Giuliani being called as a witness, how does he personally view that prospect?
Well, this is one of the interesting parts of the conversation that we had today, Tanya. I found Rudy Giuliani sort of very relaxed and open to the idea that he may be called as a witness in a Senate trial. He said, I could be called for either side and I would be willing to testify. But his preferred action, he said, was a motion to dismiss on the basis, he said, that the Democrats in the House had not presented a strong case for impeachment. And I'm not a lawyer here, but he pointed to what's called Rule 12. And Rule 12 allows the defendant to make a motion before the trial to have the allegations from the government dismissed because there is not a sound factual basis. And Giuliani was making the same argument today.
What were some other interesting highlights that came out of your conversation with him?
Well, just about the hotel stationery. I mean, I think that that's a visual that so many of us have kind of keyed in on because it seems so real on the detail of the Ritz-Carlton and talking about the Ukraine president and then also former Vice President Joe Biden and how this may all connect into Giuliani's personal investigation of corruption allegations in Ukraine. And he was very upfront saying that he felt that these records were really designed to curry favor with House Democrats. And he questioned the timing when they were actually written, whether some time ago or more recently. But the bottom line is that he felt someone he had a long-term working relationship with, he now calls a very unreliable witness.
All right. So switching gears a little bit, Catherine, I also want to ask you about former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn. He has asked a federal judge to let him take back his guilty plea of lying to investigators. What is he accusing prosecutors of, and how likely is it that the judge grants his motion?
Well, this is kind of an incredible turn of events in this prosecution, Tanya. Michael Flynn is the former National Security Advisor who pled guilty 2 years ago to lying to federal investigators about his contacts with the Russian ambassador, really in the days and weeks after the 2016 election. And to give you a brief sort of layman summary of what's happening here, the government has recently asked in the sentencing for Flynn to get some jail time in this case. Previously, they said he had been very cooperative with their investigations. But based on the new filing from Flynn's legal team, which is nearly 160 pages in length, they are making the argument that the government has acted in bad faith, and they go as far as to say that the government pressured him to lie and present false evidence in a separate case involving his business partner. So these are very explosive allegations. And of course, you can't really get away from the timing here. All of this is coming to a head, and that sort of perfect intersection with the Senate trial, which we anticipate in the coming weeks.
All right. Well, Catherine Herridge, thank you so much.
You're welcome.